We saw a couple income reports from other people showing that they can make money online through blogging. And I had the mindset of like, well, if they can do it, so can I. So business has marketing, sales, fulfillment, operations. Every business is the same, those 4 things. The nice thing about affiliate marketing is it drops off that operations.
We know affiliate marketing works for us. So we always go heavy into what has been successful for us. Yep. And if we have no luck with it, we drop it quick.
Yeah, we've always done a really good job of doubling down on what's working currently.
Sure.
And having like a long-term vision for things. We get emails all the time, people quitting their job and working from home.
We are strongly against MLMs.
I mean, the proof is kind of in the pudding, especially, I mean, you firsthand experienced one.
Yeah, I did it for a couple years and I never broke even. It was constantly just pouring money back into it. So I think that's the trap that they get in.
You're listening to the Real Business Connections Network. Powered by Balbert Marketing, LLC. Subscribe now and check us out at realbusinessconnections.com. Enjoy the show.
Welcome, everyone, once again to Rochester Business Connections on the Real Business Connections Network. I'm here today with Kelan and Brittany Kline. What's up, gang? How are you?
Hey, thanks for having us on.
You are the savvy couple, so I thought it was perfect that I got the couple both on the podcast today.
Absolutely.
Yeah, lucky one.
And you guys are crushing it. You're full-time on your own now, correct?
Yeah, we've been doing it full-time together for 4 or 5 years now. And I've been doing it for close to 7 now.
Yeah.
Love it. And making like 6 figures?
Actually, last year, we topped over the 7-figure mark.
Amazing.
Yeah.
And this is working from home and teaching people how to do it as well.
Yep, exactly.
So let's start with where you're at now, and then we'll kind of get into the nitty gritty dirty, because I know it's not perfect. It's not, I presume it took a lot of work.
Yeah.
For sure.
But like, what does business look like now? You've got a blog, you've got a YouTube, you're doing all sorts of things.
Yeah. So I'll talk about the Savvy Couple, and then you can talk about the Savvy Mama.
Sure.
The Savvy Couple is an affiliate marketing website. So we kind of rank articles on Google and bring in a lot of traffic. And then we convert the traffic with some of our offers on teaching people how to make money online through side hustles or freelancing or work from home jobs. Then we have an email list that we utilize as well. And then we broke our businesses up into 2 last year and created the Savvy Mama.
Yep. So we started last year. We have a website now and we have a membership. So that's been really fun to dive in, kind of learn something new. Memberships were not our forte, different than affiliate marketing. Obviously still doing email marketing there, but yeah, it's been a fun adventure.
Yeah, really took off last year.
Well, what's that mean by membership? Is that like a community? Is that mentorship? Is that what you tell me?
Yeah, it's a community, and inside the membership, they get it's more of like a printable community or printable. How do you explain it?
Planners, organizers. So we sell our Chaos to Control bundle, and then our upsell is to get people into the membership, which is a real low ticket membership for busy moms, and it's just all about helping them create home systems and routines, and just control the chaos in their life.
Yeah,
there's a lot of busy moms out there, isn't there?
A lot. It's a good market to be in.
So simply put, it's funny. I was looking at your site today. It's literally everything from social media management to how to sell feet pics. I've never tried that. I have nice feet. Maybe there's a market for that. But like in a gist, it's just how people can build a side hustle and then turn that into their full-time income.
Yep, exactly. Yep. It's trying to get people to break away from the 9 to 5 where you're never going to get paid what you deserve. And people that are go-getters and want to, have more freedom and flexibility in life. So teaching them how to use the skills they already have and utilize them online to make an income and then eventually quit the 9 to 5.
Boom. So we have a good intro, but our audience wants to get to know you guys. You're the savvy couple. I don't know how deep you went on other interviews, but I'd love to hear your story, and we'll sprinkle in different tips and insights as we go. But I think a good place to start is, how the heck did you guys meet each other in the first place? What's your first memory of meeting each other?
Well, so we originally met in preschool, but we only knew
how
that.
Far back are we going here? How much time do we have?
We only knew that because of the pictures our parents had, where we were basically both in one picture at preschool, which was wild. And this was after we were dating for a while. We figured that out.
Yeah.
But we originally met in ninth grade ASL class, American Sign Language, because we both failed Spanish, the regional or regions.
Yeah.
So we both sucked at Spanish, and I just saw this cute girl sitting next to me and started to talk to her, and I became obsessed with her. And she really changed my life in ninth grade. Ninth grade, I have ADHD, dyslexia, so school was always horrible for me. I kind of went just to mess around and hang out with friends. And Brittany really gave me a purpose to go every day and really buckle down on my school. So
yeah. And then
and were you just as infatuated with him at the time? Not yet.
Yes, it goes both ways. And then after high school, we you probably want to go into a little bit more about your story of what you wanted to do. But then we went to college. Ever since I was little, I always wanted to be a teacher. So I went right into education. From there, you want to talk about your multiple majors?
Yeah. So when I was 15 years old, I went on a ride along, was obsessed with being a police officer and just taking chances and helping out the community in that way. So I became addicted to basically pursuing that career path. So I became an EMT. I volunteered at the local fire department for 5 years. Went on other ride-alongs and kind of got into the system. And they said, do not go for criminal justice. So I originally went for computer science, and then I switched to PE, and then I switched to criminal justice, and then I switched to business administration. So I switched my major like 5 times.
Yeah.
But then we both went to community college together. Brittany helped me out a ton, getting me a 3.8, which was insane for me in grades. And of course, she graduated.
We always joke about that. I have like multiple degrees.
You have two associate degrees,
for sure,
a bachelor's and a master's. I just have a master's or a bachelor's. She's been amazing my whole life. But we both graduated with our bachelor's degree in 2012. And then I kind of went into the workforce, and Brittany was staying in school to become the teacher and get her master's degree in New York.
Yeah.
And then I kind of went on a bunch of different career paths. I was a UPS driver, insurance sales, office manager. And then I landed a job that was going to be a stepping stone into road patrol, which is what my ultimate goal was, as a jail deputy. And it was amazing through the academy in the first year or so. And it was, I knew that eventually I'd get to road patrol. And I kind of just fell into this really deep, dark depression. This was my 5th job I think I had at the time. And every job I got to the point of like, this sucks, having someone else tell me what to do and controlling my time. And I had a couple moments at the jail through my depression where I basically was like, this is it. I can't do this anymore. One of them being a sergeant calling me after my 8-hour shift and telling me to stay another 4 to 6 hours on overtime, forced overtime. I couldn't say no. And this was after like a midnight shift. So I was already exhausted, ready to go home. That happened all the time. And then the other time was I had 2 weeks of vacation planned, and I went in and they were already like scheduling everything. He's like, yeah, we can give you this one Wednesday off out of the 2 weeks. And I left the office just like grinding my teeth. Like, this is ridiculous. Something has to change. Yeah. And then we can keep going.
What was Brittany doing during this time period?
Back then, actually becoming a teacher was hard. Like, now teachers are in high demand around here, but I was doing a lot of subbing. I was a teacher's assistant in multiple districts around Monroe County. So I was really trying to find and land a job, interview after interview. And then I did finally get a job, a 3rd grade teacher. And then after I moved out of that district, moved somewhere else, and I was a 4th grade teacher after that.
Yeah. So I was kind of the breadwinner. During the time she was in her master's degree, we just got a new house. So we had, student loan debt. I think we started with $40,000. And then we had our mortgage payment. So I just felt like the weight of the world on my shoulders. Fell into that depression because I hated my job, hated the career path I was going on. I saw the writing on the wall of, nights, weekends, overtime, even on road patrol, and knew that I wanted to be a family man and be home with my girls or future kids. And I kind of found God in that depression and kind of came out of it. And Brittany was a lifesaver through the whole process and journey. It's something I never, ever dealt with before. And I haven't dealt with since. And I kind of found God and got positivity in my life. And as soon as I remember Brittany she was calling me and said, I got a full-time job as a teacher. And I like fell on my knees and broke down. I'm going to do it right now. I fell on my knees and broke down, like crying, just knowing that I had an out now, that Brittany could become the breadwinner.
Yeah.
we could keep the house, we could still pay off our debt, and things were gonna, things were on the up and up, and I saw the light at the end of the tunnel.
Yeah.
So that you have that moment, emotional moment, what is the next move? Do you put in your 2 weeks?
Not right away. I was looking for jobs after that. I had a friend that was working at our college, local college, Roberts, Westland, and he had a part-time office manager job. And I was like, that's perfect. Just get me out of the jail.
Yeah.
Get me something within business. I'm working with numbers. I'm at a computer. And
by that time we started the blog.
Yeah. So I knew after leaving the jail that I had to do something on my own. There was no other option. I would never go back to another 9 to 5. I went back for home inspection. I went through, I think, 3 to 4 months of training for that to become a home inspector while I was working part-time at Roberts. And then we kept having family members and friends continue to ask us questions about finances because we were paying off our debt pretty quickly. We were super frugal. We budgeted our money really good.
Savvy.
We were super savvy.
Savvy, yeah.
And people would call us like, man, that they would say that all the time. Like, man, you're so savvy with your money. So that kind of lit a fire in us, and God kind of guided us to start this blog together. We saw a couple income reports from other people showing that they can make money online through blogging. And I had the mindset of like, well, if they can do it, so can I. I've always had that kind of confidence. Plus, the other option was going back to another 9 to 5, which wasn't an option. So we kind of started the blog, and the first 9 months, just grinding nights, weekends, holidays, any time we had extra, we were working on the blog and just figuring out online marketing.
Yeah.
And on that 9th month, we made $50. And I just, I had a light bulb go off that said, this is it. And I went to Brittany. I said, hey, if it's okay with you, I want to quit my job and do this full time, and I'm going to figure out a way to replace my income. And she blessed me, and we did that. And after that, I did some freelancing for a couple months, and then went full time on the blog, and it kind of took off, grew the brand. And then fast forward 2 years after I quit my job, we had our first daughter. So as a stay-at-home dad, growing the business, we grew it to 6 figures. And then the month before Brittany was going to put in her 2-week notice as a teacher, we made just as much as she made her entire year within that month with our blog.
Yeah.
So we're like, okay, I think that's a sign for you to join and do this with me full time. And then she made the jump as well.
I want to get really tactical in a second, but one thing is interesting to me. I kind of want to hear like what happened behind the scenes, because you made your first $50 after many months. Well, a lot of people are thinking, what kind of crazy that, I made $50. Let's just make this my full-time gig. Like,
Right.
What did the decision-making process look like? Were you like, if I can make 50 here, I know I can do that 500 times? Or was that the glimmer of hope? Or were you acting insane at the time and you just got lucky? You tell me. Like,
yeah. What were we going to say? I was going to say, I think Brittany was at the point of, she was sick and tired of me complaining about having a normal job. So like, in tactically, our finances were in order. We had a really good budget that we were really strict with. We would we call it bottom of the barrel. We'd literally eat our pantry out until there was nothing, like rice and beans, PBJs. And we were okay with that because we knew, we're going to grind now. And then later on we can have that filet mignon. But sorry, that was ADHD for sure.
There's a really fun thing. You guys should try this. I recommend it. But let's say you buy a really nice bottle of wine or champagne. You only got to buy it once. And then you can take that baby and put that box wine in that bottle. So when you're having one of those frugal dinners, you can still get that vibe and experience. A lot of it just experience. There's a lot of ways to be frugal and be savvy and still have that dream. Like, you're holding that $200 bottle. You might not be drinking one of those every weekend, but having that dream puts you in the direction to actually reach to the point where you might have a $200 bottle every weekend. Anyways, I'm on a tangent.
And just sharing those wins. Yeah. So I think we definitely had our finances in order. We had our debt that we were paying off. We knew that we could live off Brittany's salary for at least 6 months before digging into like our emergency fund. Yeah. So we saved up a good chunk of change.
Plus, I think like we saw so much of the potential online from all these other people that we were looking up to, and I knew that I put my trust in him that he could do it. And
Thanks.
Of course.
And I think too, I was kind of tactical. I knew like I can't just blog. Like, this is a business. It takes time to build. Like, $50 is not going to turn into 5,000 overnight. Like, you're still going to grind another year to figure that out. But I knew I was doing a ton of research on freelancing, and I was like, if I can figure out a freelancing job that's super flexible, I only have to work like 4 hours in the morning before I work on the blog, that's teaching me the skills that I need to run the blog, like digital marketing, then it's a win-win. I'm learning from someone that's already doing it, that's better than me, that runs an agency, plus I'm getting paid to do it. And then I can kind of use those tactics right into the blog. And I was teaching English online to Chinese students too, back with VIP Kid, which out of all the 9-to-5 jobs I had, it didn't really qualify as a 9-to-5. That was like the funnest thing ever. I loved it. And it was such a good side hustle. So yeah, I really quickly replaced my income through freelancing. And then I got to the point, I asked a friend, a fellow blogger, I was like, when did you make the jump from like not doing any freelance work to just going on the business? And he asked the question, he's like, do you really need the money from freelancing? And I was like, no, we actually don't. So he's like, then just do the blog. There's so much more upside and longevity with that versus trading your time for money. So I think I only freelanced for like 3 to 4 months, and I was like head first into the blog.
Yep.
And I want to get into what works, because taking 50 and turning into 5,000, there are people saying, yeah, take $50, buy this NFT or this coin, and then it's a pump and dump, and then they're an influencer, they burn a bunch of people, they make a ton of money, everyone loses, because people want to put in 50 and get 5,000 overnight. It's a sexy offer. Put in 50, get 5,000. Tell us what to actually look for and what actually works. Like, if I'm trying to make money online, if I'm trying to have a side hustle, are there red flags and are there green lights? Like, what's a red flag? And then we'll get into actually what will, like, when I hear an offer, what's a red flag?
Yeah. I think the biggest one is anything that's get rich quick. It's completely a red flag, and stay away. Like, there's no such thing as get rich quick. And I personally have probably fallen for those, I mean, a dozen times growing up, even in my teen years, and I've gotten burned every time. Haven't learned my lesson. Haven't done it in like 5 years, so that's good. But any get rich quick scheme, anything that's, promising the world and there's no reviews, or you go to, Trustpilot or Better Business Bureau and there's negative reviews. So kind of just doing your due diligence there. And just, making sure that anything you're investing in is proven. There's other people that are finding success with it. They're teaching a skill that you actually can use and utilize online to make money with. Those are kind of the red flags I look for.
Yeah. We too, when we started and he started making that money, we just pretty much poured the money we were making from the business back into our education. We were constantly learning from the experts and like making sure like, okay, this is something that's going to benefit our business. So we're going to put our money back right into it and keep that going instead of get rich 100% or anything else.
And I go ahead.
I was going to say, on the education, like, who were you learning from? And a second question is kind of like, how do you know who to learn from? Like, where were you getting good information?
That's a great question.
For sure.
So for me and you, we joined a bunch of blogging Facebook groups, and I knew, like, working from home, I had to make connections through Facebook groups. And so I built like real relationships on Facebook, would get on Zoom with people with a mastermind. But really, anyone that's providing value in the Facebook groups and they're, giving tons of value, usually those are the people that they do probably have a course they're trying to sell, but they're giving value up front. So, they're experts. So one of them that was an absolutely life-changing course was Mike Pearson from Stupid Simple SEO. We took Pinterest course. Email marketing courses from Susie from Start a Mom blog.
Affiliate marketing course from Michelle.
Yeah. So it's kind of just seeing, and Michelle, she was one of the ones that inspired us to start the blog, and she had an affiliate marketing course. So it's kind of learning from the people that are ahead of you. And that's, finding a mentor or a course that you can take for a couple $100. The ROI on that's insane compared to a college degree. It's just taking one good, reputable online course to learn a skill.
Yeah. And as you get those skills, I'm sure it translates in a lot of different areas, right?
Oh, definitely.
Totally. Yep. That's kind of how we kind of used what was working for the Savvy Couple. And we're like, well, why don't we just duplicate that, make it a little different, different avatar, have a membership, digital products, and did the Savvy Mama and grew that to, multiple 6 figures within a year. Just using the skills that we already have. So the saying, the skills pay the bills, definitely is true.
So let's talk about, we talked about some of the red flags. What are the green lights? So what skill development, that's general, but like, should I be doing certain kinds of skills? How do I choose my work from home? I'll give you a really random example. And you'll find this interesting. So I was a traveling sales rep for Chobani yogurt. I would go to different Walmart, Sam's Club, different places, price right. I would build displays and I would sell more products like, hey, you need this in the bunker, this or that. I'm on a tangent though. On the side, there was an app and I was not making a ton of money on it, but I could audit different sections in Walmart and they'd pay me like $5 and it would take me like 6 minutes.
Yeah.
So since I was a traveling rep, I would just clock out with Chobani, take 5 minutes on the app, make $6 in 5 minutes, then get back in the car, go to my next Walmart, repeat. And it was literally just take a picture of the front of the building, audit a section, and that was it. Now, I wasn't becoming a millionaire, but I was making an extra $50, $100 a week doing next to no work.
Yeah.
That's the first time I ever had some. Let's start there. What was the first gig like that in each of your lives where you're like, wow, I can make money doing something completely different than everybody else? What was the first one for y'all?
First.
Oh, jeez.
Want me to go first?
Sure.
I know yours.
What?
Avon.
Oh, I did sell it. Avon. Yes. Yeah, I did sell that for a little bit, but I didn't make any money.
No.
So it's not a.
But that's where, I mean, you made money, but you didn't make profit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was definitely more of the entrepreneur spirit and like tried everything.
Clearly.
My very first one I remember is a lemonade stand at 5 years old, which I feel like everyone says, and then car wash. In high school, I was selling cell phone signal boosters to all the administration and teachers. Kind of slap it on the back of the battery and it gives them a better signal. That's when flip phones are around. But the time that really impacted my life was I was 13 and I was kind of helping my dad in the office and he was listing something on eBay. I think like an old pair of shoes or something. And he sold them for, I don't know, $25. And I was like, wait a second. You can like sell used stuff that you don't want and people can like send you money online and then you just ship it out. And it's like, that's the transaction. That's crazy. And then I became addicted with flipping everything possible in the house.
The whole house.
Stuff that I shouldn't be selling probably. Which then led to drop shipping in high school and college, which was really my only side hustle. So yeah, that first time earning money on eBay, selling something and flipping something was really the first like skill that I was like, wow, there's something there.
Yeah.
Now I know there's a lot of nuances. Like if you have great feet, you could probably sell feet pics. If you're a copywriter, there's a higher probability you can do social media management. So I know part of it's know thyself, but are there any like green light, hard and fast rules of the kind of at home side gigs, side hustles? Like what should I look for? What works? What actually works, at least at a higher probability?
Yeah. I think the very first thing anyone should do if they have a 9-to-5, they're trying to make money online is again, look at the skill set that you have, look at the stuff you're interested in, and then go to places like Upwork and Fiverr and see what people are, charging people to do. So, you're talking bookkeeping, if you're really good with numbers, proofreading, writing, copywriting, creating sales pages, managing, WordPress websites. The list is really endless, honestly. But it's really knowing, like you said, knowing who you are, what values you have, what skills you have. And then every business owner only has a limited amount of time and it's very valuable. So as a person, that's trying to freelance and make money, you need to go to that person, using a platform like Upwork and, offer those services that are going to save them time and money because you're going to do it for them. So I think that's the number one way to kind of make money online is through freelancing off the bat.
Yeah, I was going to say, definitely you want to start something and something that you're very passionate about. Because like when people were coming up and asking us about money and being savvy, like we leaned into that and it worked. Obviously it worked out really well for us. So like whatever people are like asking you or like whatever you're interested in, you definitely want to lean into that. Or if you don't see like progress, you're going to burn out quick, or just have no interest in it because you're not seeing any results. So definitely leaning into your hobbies, interests, passions.
Especially if it's a side hustle and you're doing it on the side, you want to make sure it's like something that's giving you energy versus taking more energy away since, a normal 9-to-5 is pretty draining.
Yeah.
So I'm super creative, a lot of creative types in my life, a lot of musicians in my life. To give a really weird example on purpose, if someone's like a sidewalk chalk artist, now we could probably nerd out and actually put together a strong marketing plan to make that a sexy thing to do at certain events. But they're a sidewalk chalk artist and they're not getting work. Like, at what point? What's the balance between I'm passionate about this versus there's actually a market for this thing? Because there might not be a market for sidewalk chalk art. Like, how do you balance those two? Because as a creative type, you want to do what you're passionate about, but it might not pay the bills.
Yeah.
Sure.
I think, like Brittany said, you kind of have to start and get started with it and see if there's a market. I think top of mind that comes for a sidewalk chalk artist is like, start making TikTok, start making YouTube videos, and like you could blow up if you're really good at it, and then use that as your marketing to get, local clients for carnivals and festivals and stuff.
Real quick, so there's almost even a limiting belief in that question that, oh, this isn't going to work, but I haven't even tried it yet. So just getting started is way better than the analysis paralysis.
Yep. Oh, yeah. 1,000%. Action over perfection. And I think, I just went to a real estate conference, and anyone that I talk to that's, making great money and super successful financially, they take action and they learn something new and they implement. Yeah. I think the people that, sit back and they're like, well, I don't know if anyone's going to like it, or, the comments are going to be so mean, and just those limiting beliefs. I feel like that holds back 90% of people that should be running a business and could be running a nice side hustle, but they're too scared to make that jump. And that's something, luckily, I was beaten down so much that, that was an easy decision for me to go all in. But yeah, it's really taking that leap of faith.
Have you guys gotten a lot of that negative feedback? People talking smack, people judging you, or you've avoided it for the most part?
We get the random emails from time to time. I love them, honestly. I really do. Because I know I heard from someone that, and we don't really use social media too much to market our business, but we used to back in the day when we first started as a way to leverage. And I just heard that someone said, if you're getting hate, it means you're doing something right. And if you're not, then you're staying in the middle too much. You're not going one side or the other, like Dave Ramsey versus Kevin O'Leary type of thing. If you're getting hate, you're definitely running the business the right way, where you're drawing a line in the sand and showing your beliefs, showing your values.
So we talked about, we've got a skill set. We can freelance on like a Fiverr or an Upwork. I don't even want to ask a pointed question. You guys tell me, what are some fun ways that people can make money? Maybe you each can share like one of your favorites, but like, what's a way we might not have thought of? You can go into the feet thing. That got my attention. It was hilarious. But like, there's a lot of ways we probably haven't thought of, correct?
Yeah. I think it's really endless. One of the easy ones that I just thought of, and use ChatGPT if you haven't. It's an assistant, and you can kind of put in the skills that you have and be like, give me 10 side hustles. And it's going to spit out, creative side hustles for you to try, and you kind of work from there. But if you have like a skill, and it's because I want to get into kiteboarding this summer and try a new hobby. But like, if you're a good kiteboarder, or you have, a lake house, or just something in the summer for Rochester, that you can kind of bring people in and create a coaching business or just an adventure business. It's leaning into your passions and figuring out, all right, how do I make money doing this, helping other people and bringing value to other people? And that's really the bottom line. If you want to make money, solve problems. Yep. And people want to do stuff here in Rochester. They want to have an adventure. So teach them how to kiteboard. That's a horrible example, but that's what I came up with.
We'll see.
For me, like thinking of just like moms that are like out there and they're busy and they're running around, like if they're already out, just picking up like Grubhub or kind of like grocery orders,
Instacart, kind of the gig economy stuff.
Yeah, I think that's always a good, because you're already out doing it anyway. So
another one is so like cleaning houses, especially for moms and Brittany's busy moms. If they're not having a 9-to-5 and they're more stay-at-home mom, and they can clean, 2 houses a week, you could easily make $500 a week, which adds up to $2,000 a month, which is $24,000 a year. Like, and you're just cleaning, you're spending, 3 hours cleaning a house. So it's finding those skills that you can leverage. And I think cleaning's a big one. We just paid $250 to clean our house a couple of months ago. And it took her a couple hours, but it saved us, the time and hassle to do that. So it's kind of finding those skills that you enjoy. And I feel like for moms, they can kind of zone out and put the music on and Brittany loves cleaning. So it's definitely a good side hustle too.
Yeah.
I love all these. You can clean, you have a skill, you can freelance with that skill, you can create a need, something creative. If you're the only person doing something really unique, there might be a market, get big on TikTok, the whole shabam. The one thing I haven't heard, and I just want your honest opinion on it, we had mentioned Avon and that not being the most profitable endeavor. None of the examples you've given are like a traditional MLM. Is MLM a good business model or is it not?
Oof.
You take that one.
No, it is not.
Why not? Why not?
We are strongly against MLMs.
Yeah. I mean, the proof is kind of in the pudding, especially, I mean, you firsthand experienced one.
Yeah, I did it for a couple years and I never broke even. It was constantly just pouring money back into it. So I think that's the trap that they get in. They're sold this big dream of, oh, you can get up high in the company, but it's just only a certain people get up high, and it's just
really all MLMs are a recruiting network or a recruiting business. You need to get people underneath you selling so that their upflow is going to you and you're going to commission off of their work. If you're just grinding and hustling products by yourself, you'll never make any income. And I think I read a stat last year that 97% of individuals that join an MLM end up losing money. So it's only the top 3% that are actually doing it. If you're really good at recruiting people and it's a good product that you believe in and you want to go that route, you can make a killing. But again, that's only 3% of people that are able to find that success in them.
Literally today with my personal trainer, we were joking about it. I'm like, if we ever were to do an MLM, we might as well just found the MLM so we can be at the top of the pyramid, because if you're coming 30 years in, the amount of climbing you have to do just to making income. I'm on a tangent, but I want your opinion on this. I was watching a couple of videos of like, these are like, shouldn't have been recorded, but basically leaked videos of Beachbody calls with, coaches teaching coaches how to recruit. Like they're not even talking about product. And two things really bothered me. The lady basically said, someone's going to give you an excuse like, I'm sick, I have Crohn's disease, I have cancer. Well, first off, I have Crohn's disease, so that's no excuse. And second off, if she has cancer, that's the reason she should have Beachbody. And it's like, are we preying on people with cancer? And the other thing that really bothered me is this other chick said, every time that I have children, it just prints money, prints money to have kids. And it's like, are we using our children to shill our recruiting scheme?
Yeah.
So that's why I bring it up, because I passionately don't like MLMs. What is like your visceral opinion on that? Not everyone in an industry is like that, but when there's motive to recruit, I feel like people can get tremendously unethical.
Yeah,
definitely.
I think the way the business is set up, it causes that unethical behavior in marketing. And I think they do prey on people that want they're working a 9-to-5 and they're told this dream that they can get out by, making $100,000 a year selling this product. And it's super easy. You just have to tell your family and friends, and it's all BS.
Yeah.
Have you watched, out of curiosity, have you watched the Lululemon documentary on Netflix?
LuLaRoe.
Yeah.
That was wild.
Yeah. Well, everyone's buying all the product and they can't get rid of the product, and then the seasons change and the styles change and you can't sell the product, then you have to buy new product, or it doesn't fit and then you can't send it back. The biggest flaw, in my opinion, is there's something called Amazon.com.
Yeah.
Right.
And even products like Shakeology or Herbalife, or a lot of, multi-level products can be purchased on an Amazon.com. So it's just not the best business model. Yep. You're competing against, now maybe 30 years ago, it might have worked. You can do parties, you can sell direct, but now you're competing against Amazon and Walmart now.
For sure. Yeah.
Kind of hard to do.
So I went on a tangent. I wanted your opinion. Tell us more like what actually does work. So there is no get rich quick. We need to put some time and effort into it. Are there certain things we should look for knowing that we're being successful? Like, I guess the real question is, how do we know to keep moving forward versus this isn't going to work, let's try something different?
That's a great question.
Yeah. I think, if you're just talking about skill sets like, SEO optimization, bookkeeping, proofreading, graphics design, you can quickly see there's tons of work on Upwork. If you just type in that skill, there's going to be 100, 200 people looking for help with that. So there's proof in that. And I'm telling you, I've tried a lot of this stuff and it does work. And then if you're trying to like start a side hustle as a business, as like a content creator, and this is one I didn't mention, is a lot of people have this unique perspective, this unique experience, this unique expertise in a field, whether that is, in the fitness field and you're, a 40-year-old dad that's got shredded abs and like you can teach other people how to just lose body fat and stay healthy, or you are really good at finance and budgeting, or you're really good at dance and you can teach other people. I think that you can use that passion and experience and start creating content on TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, and start building the following. And then you can basically use that audience and sell products that you believe in and you've used yourself through affiliate marketing. And that, I think affiliate marketing, that's kind of what we did with the Savvy Couple for the last 8 years, and it's done very, very well. I think that it's going to continue to shift more to the video side of thing, just with AI and everything. So people want to connect with other people and seeing people's faces and their, hearing their background story and their experience. I think that's a really, really good side hustle to potentially look into as well. And to answer your question, if you've been posting videos for 6 months and they're all only getting 200 views per video, you're not doing enough. You're not solving enough problems. You're not providing enough value. So it's, the thing is, get started, view what's working. What do you need to change? If it's a title, is it the length of the video? Is it the content? Are you not solving, a specific niche problem? And then kind of just pivoting as you go. But I'm all about just get started, pull out the camera, start creating content, and then you can pivot.
I think too, what we did is once we saw what was working and what wasn't, we completely dropped what wasn't working every time. Like we've tried courses, we've tried creating some of our own products like that. But like, we know that sponsorships work for us. We know affiliate marketing works for us. So we always go heavy into what has been successful for us. Yep. And if we have no luck with it, we drop it quick.
Yeah. We've always done a really good job of doubling down on what's working currently, sure, and having like a long-term vision for things.
Cool. So I know the gist of affiliate marketing. I don't want to be assumptive that everybody understands exactly how it works, but like simply put, you're creating content, blogs, videos, and you're making a recommendation, yep, and you're getting a commission on the sale. Is it really, yep, that simple? Or you explain how it all works?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. So business has marketing, sales, fulfillment, operations. Every business is the same, those 4 things. The nice thing about affiliate marketing is it drops off that operations. You're just working on you're finding a product within your niche that you have expertise and experience in, that you use, or you've tested and it's a quality product or service. And then you're like, okay, this is the product I'm trying to market. Let's go to YouTube and type in, how are other people marketing it? Go to TikTok, see how they're marketing it. There's other people that have done it. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. You just have to put your own twist on it eventually. And then you can start making content around that product, whether it's comparing it to another product or using it yourself. And then, yeah, you mentioned there's a link below with a discount, and you have that partnership with the affiliate, and you become an affiliate for that product. And then you earn a commission every time someone either signs up or purchases, and then it's hands off, which is really nice, versus having to like fulfill that order with your own products. So
theoretically, I take a multivitamin or a nootropic, and I've been taking it for 3 years. And all I do is write a write-up on it and record a video as to why I take this multivitamin. And that video blows up, gets 10 million views. I'll get paid off people purchasing it. And I didn't have to recruit. I didn't have to lie. I just talked about something I already take.
Yeah, exactly. I think the biggest thing with that is staying super niched with creating the content. Like for us, and we don't utilize social media very much, which is what a lot of people are doing. We kind of went the path of let's utilize search engines. So all of our traffic for the Savvy Couple comes through Google and our email list and a little bit of Pinterest. The Savvy Mama is more Pinterest and email list and Google, but and then we utilize YouTube as well, which is a search engine. So it's staying super niched and seeing what works and what people are gravitated towards and what topics they are, and then just, doubling down on that topic and niche.
Smart. I could go on social media, post content all day, social sell, send 1,000 DMs a day. But if I've got people clicking on my link off Google, I don't have to do any of that. So this is a whole different conversation. But any hard and fast tips on how you get these articles to rank?
Yeah, this is a tricky one right now because Google, I think, is broken. If you've gone to Google in the last couple months here with all the updates, you'll probably see a Reddit thread and a LinkedIn article. They're not serving up the best content for people's searches right now.
Yeah.
And the blogging game has definitely changed over the years, I think.
Especially with AI.
Yeah. With AI, they just did a huge update where it's basically killed all the sites that were using just AI and blasting articles out because it's cost them forever, tons of money to kind of search and crawl all those articles. So now it's really about, EAT, which is expertise, experience, authority, and trust. So it's really building a brand that people come back to because you're solving the problem. So for us, we really made the pivot from budgeting and frugal living to, let's open up our mindset. Let's create more money in our life because that is the biggest lever you can pull to reach financial freedom versus trying to save every single dollar and know where your money's going. Is let's increase income. So we really pivoted towards work from home jobs, make money online, side hustles, freelancing, and then kind of followed what Google was already ranking and then just kept, building more content on that.
I think too, that goes back to my point of we doubled down, budgeting and all that, was not working in debt. And we were switching gears because we weren't seeing any progress or growth like it was in the make money. So that shift of going into doubling down on that was huge.
Yeah.
This is to be descriptive, not prescriptive, because everybody's in a different place in their life. For you guys, describe, so you used to be a little more frugal. Talk a little bit more about that. So the frugality stopped working?
I don't think it stopped working. I think that so we used to be super frugal, both of us. Brittany, you came from frugal. A single mom that was kind of paycheck to paycheck and just kind of get through the day. And for me, my parents kept telling me to get a job, and I was like, I don't want to get a job. So I'm going to keep my expenses as low as possible, selling stuff on eBay and drop shipping. And that's where I got my frugality from. Plus my dad grew up on a farm. So the frugalness in farmers is insane. And then I think the debt, I knew that if you're frugal and you're in control of your money, you have options. You have way more freedom than the paycheck to paycheck, credit card debt, consumer debt, always the next iPhone. I knew there's freedom in budgeting. So we did that. We still budget. We still know where our money's going. But now, I think when our income hit a certain level, we kind of shifted the mindset of let's not try to save every penny and, eat a frugal meal all the time. Let's expand and know that there's always more money you can make. Yeah. You can always make more money.
Yeah. It was a huge lever that went off. And I'm trying to think, I came up to you one day and I said, and I can't remember what it was now. And then it was just a switch that went off and we're why would we keep living like that?
We were both wow, that makes our business has grown every single year. Why would we not continue to, expand? And, we've been susceptible to lifestyle inflation, but nothing we don't own sports cars or anything like that. We live in a modest house and, but we do enjoy, going out to eat now more, which we used to never do. We spend tons of money on going on family vacations for experiences. And we just have that unlimited growth mindset of we can always make more money versus, we have to stay and live down here all the time.
Yeah.
Talk a little bit more about that for a moment. So give us a couple examples of times where you were doing something and you're like, wow, the couple we used to be would have never made this decision. Did you have those moments where a vacation or a meal where you're like, wow, us 5 years ago would have just not done this? And did you feel like you made it? What are some examples of that?
I got a couple. Go ahead.
Well, I was going to say the Amazon deliveries at the door, but gosh. You've always done that.
That's bad. Yeah. Well, I didn't used to do it that bad. Yeah. We have Amazon come at least every other day. It's like Christmas at our house.
Oh God.
And it's most of the time it's stuff we kind of need. Sometimes it's not. But
Go ahead.
But I think a couple that come to mind is we bought a truck last year, cash, $30,000, and just paid cash. Didn't have to finance it, and that was definitely like, holy cow, we definitely have made it financially. And then another one, I think the switch that really set for me of like we are set financially is when we made our first 100K month. It was just like and it was a goal that we had forever, and we got there. And I want everyone to know, like, we are so blessed financially and so blessed that our business has taken off, and it's such a blessing to have a platform to speak on it and inspire and motivate others. And I'll say firsthand, like I don't think I was just as happy eating rice and beans and living paycheck to paycheck and having that grind mentality than we are now. Like, yes, we're more comfortable, and we don't stress about money and the debt that we have, but it's not like our life's any better. I was still just as happy back then as I am now.
Stressed too.
And yeah, owning a business that's growing, like there's still tons of stress, and we work together all the time and see each other all the time, which is definitely a difficult on your marriage and just difficult in business. I will say there's one thing that I have not let go of, and it's shoes. I'm still super frugal. I had a shoe sole start to come off, and I went to the basement and put some super glue on that bad boy, and she's good to go for another like 6 months. So I didn't lose all frugal and savvy, kind of living more budget lifestyle, but yeah, we've definitely expanded kind of our spending and our mindset.
I'm still there. I haven't gotten there yet. I'm still pretty in the frugal mindset.
Yeah, well, it's deep in your blood.
Well, Warren Buffett was one of the most frugal investors of all time, and he's one of the richest people of all time.
Yeah.
I feel slightly judged because this morning my trainer was like, "Oh wow, you got new shoes," and I'm like, "No, I just haven't wore these in 2 years. I have like 30 pairs."
Yeah, I'm not a shoe head, so I probably only have 5 pair total. Not very many.
Let's close out with a couple examples, because again, we're being descriptive and it's going to look different. We touched on this. People have different skill sets. They have different positions in life. They have different goals. Talk about some of the success stories of your clients, your friends, whether it's moms or couples. You tell me, like, what does success look like, and maybe give examples that are different than one another.
Yeah. In my business, so heavy on printables, and just like hearing the story of people using our products and paying off their debt and not as stressed and can handle more things in life and just be more organized, that's for me has just been huge to get that feedback and know that we're helping people.
Yeah. And I think for us, it's always been, family first. And I think we put that front and center in our business. Our tagline's family, finance, freedom. And, anything we can do to help families create that vision in their life and, actually take action on it and get more time as a family and spend quality time together is a huge win. So for me personally, couple things. Number one is we have a marriage money boot camp that is just it's a planner workbook that the married couple can go through. We go through it probably once a year, and it's just going through the big topics in life. How many kids do you want? What type of house do you want to live in? What type of finances do you have? Just kind of going through the big pillars of a good marriage and helping you kind of create those conversations and get on the same page. And I think when a couple gets on the same page and they're working towards the same vision and the same goal, it's so powerful versus going in separate directions. So that's a huge win that we get a lot on that product. And then as far as like side hustles and stuff, I think the biggest feedback we get emails all the time, people quitting their job and working from home using, platforms like Flex Jobs and finding that remote work. And it really helped the pandemic. People kind of got a taste of it and want more and more of it. Yeah. And then on YouTube, I have a video where I kind of get really transparent and cry my eyes out talking about my depression and leaving the jail and just the comments on that video. Anytime I'm having a bad day and feeling like I'm not impacting the way I want to, I just go read those comments. And so many people are so inspired and feel like they're in the same place, trapped in their 9-to-5 and want to get out. And that video just, lit a fire under them. So that's super, super awesome to see.
So we're not alone.
Right? Not at all.
A lot of people on that mission. It's great to have a partner on that mission with you. But even if not, there's a community online. There's 100%. A community for moms. Talk a little bit. So how do we join the community? I'm not a mom, but if I was, what would I do?
Yeah. I think you can, if you go to our website, thesavvymama.com, you can find the link there of how to join and get started.
I mean, yeah, just connect with us on social media, on Britt's Instagram. And then for the Savvy Couple, same thing. We're at the Savvy Couple on all platforms. YouTube's a great way to connect with us. We're really trying to create some good content there, and grow our following on that platform as well.
And all that's going to be in the show notes. So you guys can scroll, click a couple buttons as we're speaking here, open up a couple tabs, say hello, connect, hit subscribe. Love the YouTube channel. Lots of tips in different categories. So it can kind of be a choose your own adventure. One final fun question, because I know my listeners are all over the place, but you guys are from my hometown, Rochester, New York. We didn't talk a ton about Rochester because you're doing stuff online internationally, but let's take a moment. Rochester, New York, you're not feeling like being frugal. You're just going to have fun. What in the region, you can leave Rochester if you want. What are you guys going to do on a weekend just to have a good time?
I feel like it depends on the time of year, because we have all four seasons. If it's the winter, hitting up Bristol Mountain for sure. I love skiing and snowboarding. That's our big thing in the winter. During the summer, going to Canisius Lake, Canandaigua Lake, hitting the boat out.
Walks on the canal. We're on the canal a lot.
Yeah. Walking outside. The fall's awesome. Going to Letchworth and seeing the gorge and all the beautiful trees and the foolery. So there's lots of stuff to do. You just got to make the best of it when the weather is miserable and cold for 4 or 5 months, and wait for the incredible summer.
It's funny because as I was asking that question, I know I worked in the word frugal because it's a callback because we talked about it. But like, Rochester's a great place to live if you're being frugal, because we have so much natural beauty in the area that you don't have to spend a ton of money to go see a waterfall or go walk across the water. Well, cross the water, like Jesus, walk by the water. Any favorite food and drinks just to have fun?
We're not big foodies.
Yeah, we're not big foodies. I think that we still have that frugal kind of mindset. I mean, my favorite place recently.
Oh gosh.
Let me make sure I say it right. Longhorn Roadhouse. It's Longhorn Steakhouse. I get them mixed up every time.
Two different places, yeah.
For sure.
Longhorn Steakhouse.
Texas Roadhouse.
That's the extent. We're not big.
We actually went down to Canandaigua. I won't say the name of the restaurant, but I think we spent like $300, and we were just celebrating the incredible year we had, and kind of had a business meeting. And afterwards, we were like, I would have rather gone to McDonald's and spent $20 than $300 on a meal.
Yeah, we're not.
So yeah, we don't
see value in food as much as
we kind of view food as fuel versus the opposite.
Sweet. We already said it. It's in the notes, but in case I didn't ask enough, how can we support you?
Go ahead.
Yeah, follow us on The Savvy Couple on all social media platforms, or The Savvy Mama. And you can shoot us an email, savvyclients@gmail.com. We're happy to reach out and kind of talk you through any situation you're going through with your job and trying to quit and find some remote online work.
Boom. Time flew by. I feel like we only scratched the surface. That's why I recommend going to the show notes, because between the YouTube channel and the blog especially, like, I could probably spend a week and not get bored. So I appreciate you guys coming, talking MLM with me. Didn't expect to bring that up. And congratulations on your success. I'm going to continue to support you.
Thanks, Ben. This was great. Appreciate it.
Amazing.